but he was not even minimum wage, so. $170 once it's taxed, it's 158.09. I don't understand.
Welcome to the meeting. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we'll start with approval of minutes. Motion to approve minutes. Jenna, Leah, all in favor? Motion carries. Brings us to the superintendent update.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Just a few things that I want to mention. First, I just want to start out by congratulating our music program for some outstanding concerts. We still have an elementary school one coming next week, but really they're fantastic. I was just saying to some of our administrators today, I would put our kids up against any big school anywhere. They are really incredibly talented. It's a terrific opportunity. So I just want to thank the music teachers for that. Today I met with the Wasserman League superintendents to talk about some issues. Some of them are related to participation. Many of the schools in our area are struggling to field 3 different levels for some sports, and just talking about some of the reasons for that, what regionally we can do to encourage more participation. One of the ideas that our ad hoc committee had would be to increase intramurals here at our district to help just keep kids involved as they start to age out for things like CYO. Particularly in the 6th grade year where they may not have many opportunities because modified sports hasn't started. Our health programs are going to be doing intersectional health education coming in, and if you have a child in those particular classes, you'll see some applications coming out about opting out because the surveys that are associated with that. We're going to be doing, I believe, some hard copy mailings, plus we're going to be emailing parents that are involved in those spaces and parks. We partner with a certified health specialist that is really an expertise in that particular area to get the best impact for our students. And I just want to mention the fence. I know I updated before yesterday. There was an incident where a car went through 2 of our fences on Route 2 yesterday. We believe that'll be repaired through their particular car insurance, but nonetheless, it looks pretty yucky right now, so we're gonna work through those pieces of parts that just happened. And then the pump on our wastewater treatment plant, unfortunately, is no longer operational. So we have a part on order that was supposed to be part of our capital project, but unfortunately we have to take care of that now because we need to operate with something that can take care of the solid waste that our school puts out. So right now we have April Park Septic coming at least once a day, most times twice a day, to take care of the pumping out so that the operation to get the pump working again. And I'll turn it over to our building administrator. So I'll start with Sarah.
Good evening. It's a busy time of year in the elementary building. A lot of fun going on. Some service projects. We ever had infantry up and running in the elementary school. I think of all those items that are donated out of the tree. Students and staff decorate the tree with donated hats and mittens that don't and everything that the tree holds at the end of the week is donated to those every year. Lots of instruments our PTSA has hosted our Little Shoppers holiday shop this week. It's very successful. Kids are so proud to show off the trinkets that they get for their loved ones for the holidays, and it's a nice exercise in, supporting that idea that giving is just as fun as getting it back ourselves around the holidays. We have our 3rd graders learning about holidays around the world, and they'll be taking a field trip tomorrow, culminating that to see the Nutcracker Ballet tomorrow. And they also had a visit from a ballerina, and she's come for this is her 3rd visit, I think, to us. Harley. She was in Berkshire Ballet's production of the Nutcracker Ballet, so she provides a little instruction, kind of a close-up view of what that experience is for students. Every year she visits this. Our Winter Wishes program is also very this year. This is a program that's run through our counseling center, where we support some gifts for families this year to share with their loved ones around the holidays. We've also managed to complete a number of safety drills so far this year. We've had 6 evacuation drills, 2 lockdown drills, 2 bus safety drills, and a 1 bus early release drill. All have gone very smoothly and successfully and on schedule, which is great. Dr. Maloney mentioned the car through the fence. That was a little jarring to all of us, of course. Luckily, that occurred at a distance. Of course, no students were out. No students or staff were in that area at the time. It was also a good distance away from our areas for students too, which we do cover in. Our elementary band and chorus concert is next week, December 17th. I encourage any and all of you to attend if possible. We're very proud of our elementary music program, and despite extreme exhaustion, I'm sure, that Mr. S is experiencing after welcoming a new baby very recently. It's sure to be a wonderful performing show, and the students really work very, very hard to take a lot of pride in that performance. Also, just putting it out there, we'll be running our MEET program again this year in March, but this is the time of year where we start to look for volunteers to run classes Thursdays after school. Our students can sign up for the MEET program to participate in classes with anything to jewelry making, puzzles, Legos, outdoor exploration, you name it, anything goes for a MEET class. So, encourage any members to volunteer for that. Reach out to
Everyone. So things are busy in the high school and middle school right now. As Dr. Maloney mentioned, the concerts were amazing. The students did such a great job. They were so excited. I was walking around and chatting with them the morning before the concert. They were excited to be dressing up and show off their skills. It was great. You'll notice that Kayla's not here tonight. I met with her today. She's at a basketball game in Waterford, so hopefully they're doing well. But she also wanted to mention that clubs are going great right now. We have Kids Care that came back this year. They just got busy making jewelry and selling jewelry to donate money toward breast cancer. And it was adorable to see them out in the lobby with their jewelry that they made selling. The clubs also participated with the faculty and staff for the Giving Tree Club. And when I was talking with the counselor, I believe she said that the club was 42 families in the district. So that was wonderful to see. There was a tree just filled with tags. It was great to see all of that come to life. One of the things that the students are going to start to see is that we have a leadership meeting of 8 of our students, and we are focusing on aspects of identity and belonging and acceptance. So we're going to be starting to have some fun activities to bring all of that in. So we have some great things going on with all of that, character ed, and this book.
I'm going to take a little time to highlight one of the aspects of the special education program. Work-based learning was something I mentioned back in our October board meeting. The coffee cart was back up and running, which is really excited about having that. But I wanted to highlight a little bit more about what work-based learning is for those of you who maybe weren't quite sure what that term meant. So work-based learning is a program that's housed in the special education department, but it is not solely for students with disabilities. It's for general education students as well. Especially students at risk of not being able to graduate with degrees or a local diploma. The program is structured with applying practical skills, applying their academic knowledge that they have and their individual skill sets to different experiences within our school setting to gain some work-based learning experiences that can be transitioned to skills relevant in our workforce for them to go out and seek employment afterwards. Again, this is for any student looking to graduate with some sort of a credential. So this would be your CDOS credential, where it applies to our students on alternate assessment for students with disabilities. Those students who do have IEPs can stay beyond their graduation up till the day before their 22nd birthday. So this program can encompass their education continuing post-graduation. The credentials require over 200 hours of practical work-based experience in addition to their coursework. So some of the options are listed on the beautiful flyer, this is what we put together. So some of those are some tasks that are here, some daily jobs. The students that are involved in that program are typically involved in more than one job to gain some experience in multiple different fields. It's a great opportunity for them to explore different career options post-graduation. So most of those are about 3 to 5 periods of their day. Students are typically in 10th to 11th grade when they start, and they continue that on through their graduation. But when we look at the number of opportunities that we have, if you look at this document, there's a little note at the bottom that says the parentheses, the number of students that can participate in each job. So right now, we have, last year there was 6 students in the program, this year there's 11. So it almost doubled within 1 year. And that's about the max that we can accommodate at this point in time with the jobs that we have here. There has been offers from the community, from different businesses, from the food pantry that we partner with, to have students come and do some hands-on experience there. But right now we're limited and we're not able to offer those experiences just due to the amount of students that we have, and in fact only one person is in charge of running this with the special education department. So that one person is in charge of supervision, documentation, planning, evaluations, job coaching, and recommending that's required by the state. And that she does that in coordination with our special education director. Well, that's a lot for one person. And then especially if you wanted to add on supervising out the community or expanding on those, which would be really great to offer for students to be able to make some of their own personal connections that could lead to employment and post-graduation. So as we see more students struggling to meet regents and local graduation requirements, we will likely look at needing to expand this program. We also know New York State is up in the air about what graduation will look like, what pathways they're looking at expanding on. So having this program in place is a huge benefit, kind of a step ahead for us as a district, and something we may want to keep in mind as we look at what New York State is going to put out next year or so for graduation. So if there's any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Mrs. Bowman, and if any community members would like to see, you're welcome to have a look at this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That brings us to the updates. Anybody have any update? Okay. So that brings us to special ed. Let's put that on the table. Ryan, Annie, all in favor? Motion carries. So that brings us to 8.1. So,
6.1.
thank you. 6.1, motion to put that on the table. Jenna, Kevin, any discussion?
No, it's just a day that the students are off and the district is closed. We just had
So all in favor? Motion carries. Brings us to personnel recommendations. Do 8.1 through 8.14 on consent. Motion for that. Ryan, Kevin. Discussion?
No, everything's pretty standard. We did have a couple of MOAs on there. One I'll just put to your attention is the Lunar New Year. That's impacting us from the first night this year. Last year, it was on weekend. So as with regards to our non-instructional staff.
So, all in favor? Motion carries. Brings us to 9.1 through 9.8. Motion to put that on the table. Leah, yeah. Discussion, Sopo?
Yeah, a couple things. We have the emergency skill cleanup. This is from Derek Dalrymple. They've been working with us. This is just to engage into a contract for some of the work that they're doing. That should hopefully that's what that one goes. They did give us a quote on coating the tank, but we think we found a cheaper quote. That work won't have to be until the spring anyway. Stop arm enforcement, that's something that's been going on for a while. This is just to renegotiate that. I did ask our SRO if he was able to dig up some data for us on the number of cars that were stopped. So he was looking into that for us. I don't think you were able to find anything like that.
So we so every school pretty much has sent the private company sort through and set up the county. Sort of right.
But a lot of people are getting tickets for going past school buses.
We get a kickback?
We do not.
Because it's a private company. That's what I'm saying.
To be candid with you, I have no idea where the money goes and who gets what. I just know it was like a partnership with the county to be able to, for safety purposes. But I know we didn't pay for anything related to the cameras or like repainting the buses or like, we didn't pay for any of that, so.
What was the report that we saw last year? Had some of the data number of times we
The hotspots.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He gives it that, it's 7, 8.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about, yeah, I can try to see if I can find another one of those.
It was interesting.
Route 7 is horrible, absolutely horrible for a whole bunch of reasons. But I think the multiple lanes really cause people like, oh, it's in that lane, I'll just keep going on this. So people are going onto the. It's absolutely terrible. I will also mention 9.6, the bid approval for the sump pump replacement work. Just that's $100,000 project, but we have been planning for that. And then you'll see the 2 corrective actions we bought at the extra classroom. Those are very typical as related to any findings that are associated with the audit that Deal presented to you. The extra classroom one is one that we normally have corrective action, because that's usually mistakes related to things, because the kids are involved with that. So there's a lot more cash with the extra curricular as opposed to what the business people usually don't come pay their taxes in cash. So it's all cash related with the kids.
So all in favor? Motion carries. So that will bring us to public comment. So if anyone would like to comment, please sign in with Maureen in the back there. We ask that you introduce yourself, your name and address. No hurtful or defamatory remarks about individuals, so no individual names should be mentioned. The board may or may not respond to your comment, and please limit all comments to 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Celia Fampa. My first question is that for our student athletes, why are we participating in gym when a lot of other schools in different states and our state, New York, don't have to participate in gym, instead they get an extra study hall? And a lot of the time, our student athletes are doing more in our sport than in our gym class. We get our exercise through our sport instead of doing it through gym, and actually a lot of student athletes got hurt during gym class and have been taken out of the sport.
Thanks for that.
Hannah. My name is Hannah Floyd. So, the main concern is that the high school gym teachers are kind of seeing a bad condition. My main concern is the safety of them. Some of them are missing parts, some of them are loose. So I guess my question is there any plan to, I guess, either fundraise or like do something with the teachers?
Yeah, they're getting inspected. It's not this week, it's very, very shortly, and we've purchased all new many new parts to start fixing the area.
Thank you.
Good evening, board. For you that don't know me, my name is Mark Murray. I'm a 21-year resident of Brunswick. I have coached at the modified JV and varsity football team. I have also coached Brunswick Bulldogs for 14 years, and I drove school bus here at Brunswick and Tamarack for 1 year. I've seen a lot here at the school over the past 20 years, good and bad. Since that, I've had 2 children graduate with honors and a high honor, 2012, 2024, and I have 2 more identical twin boys in grade 8. My reason for being here is I've had a few issues over the past couple years, all with my younger boys. And a boy that I have stepped up, I've taken responsibility and brought myself into his life as a father. Most recently this week, the situation is this. I received a phone call from my boys telling me that I had to pick them up because they were told they could not go to the weight room because they weren't going to roam the school halls. which wasn't said to a secretary who was the one who told them they had to go home. And the principal also told them they had to leave. I came back to the school to pick them up. And then I decided to go in as a parent and talk to the coach who was in charge. The coach told me as long as the boys go to school here, they're in 8th grade and they play the sport, they were allowed to be in the weight room from 211 to 350. So then I went and I approached the principal. And I told him I had spoken to the coach. The principal responded that he had no ideas of the rules for the weight room, and he didn't even know who the coach was. He never met him. He didn't even know he was down there. Then he told me to please leave the building, and he would call me. I told him I had no problem waiting here, and we can go together and we can talk to the coach. As the principal kept continuously telling me to leave, which that's how the principal always talks to me and always responds to me, he decided to call a sheriff, which is the second time I've had the sheriff called up. The sheriff came down the hall with a smile and a smirk on his face, and I told him, I'm not afraid of you. I don't fear you because you are an officer. You are supposed to serve and protect us. From that point, I then walked to the front entrance with the officer and my children. And that's when the superintendent came out to the hallway and told me I had to leave and couldn't make a scene, which she had no idea at that time what had actually happened. After explaining a little and relaxing and waiting for a response, a secretary who told my boys to leave came out very unprofessional and with a raised and ignorant voice, lied about what my children had said to her for the reasoning of them being here. I then said to the superintendent, can you please tell her to go back in her office? I don't want to deal with her shit. To shorten this up, I ended in a room with the principal, superintendent, and the officer. While in there, I did apologize. I told them all, and I said, I'm a parent who feels my boys are targeted. I can go on and on with many examples over why I feel my twins and another child are targeted. The next day, I received a call by the superintendent stating, number one, I needed disciplinary action. I also needed a consequence for my actions. And the fact that many members of the staff were scared of me. I was kicked out of school for 5 weeks from now until the middle of January. And I cannot go to any of my children's sports activities. I'm a very highly sport person. All my children have graduated here playing sports, football, basketball, soccer, and I have 2 more coming up through. I can go on and on and on with more examples. I'm not a violent, nor have I ever been physically violent towards anyone on or near the school premises. I strongly request that this action be removed so I can continue to be a parent and continue to go see my boys play their sports.
Thank you. And we'll take that under.
How you doing? I'm Jacob Price, and my question to you is there any sort of date or timeline of when the fencing in the elementary school is going to be fixed?
Yes and no. They were trying to push it back up to see if they could make something decent of it. If not, we're gonna put some snow fence over it, but it'll probably be a while before it's replaced, just as it works through insurance. Fortunately, the kids don't go outside that far, so I would hope by the spring that it's there.
That's it.
We have executive personnel.
So we need to, motion to move into executive session for personnel. Leah, Tammy, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you all for coming.
This one.
Last year was awesome. I was like, I went back.
Tina and That's
My
weird. I
parents
know.
love the program.
Are we still? Yeah, we did. I'm getting.
Me? What a good question. You're becoming seasonal ones. Good one.
And